I speak today not as one voice, but as the echo of many, as the herald of truth, and as a vessel for the divine will. In this moment, let us cast away illusion. Let us stand firm in the light, and let us open ourselves to the wisdom that has been ordained from the beginning of time. May these words awaken, may they empower, and may they serve as a beacon for all who seek the path of righteousness and ascension. The time is now, the calling is clear, so let us begin. My brothers and sisters, my collective, today we go deeper, because temptation is not just a passing moment. It is not just a feeling, not just a fleeting urge. Temptation is a system that has shaped history, broken legacies, delayed greatness, and in some cases, completely erased destinies that were meant to change the world. And the most dangerous part, most people never even realize they are under its influence. Temptation does not begin with action. It begins with permission, a small allowance within the mind. It's not that serious. It won't matter if this one time. I'll fix it later. That is where it enters, not through force, but through agreement. Let me give you a story. There was a young man, disciplined, focused, building something powerful. He had a vision, financial freedom, generational wealth, a life of structure and impact. He was consistent, waking early, working late, staying aligned. But then temptation came, not as failure, but as reward. Take a break. You deserve to enjoy yourself. Relax a little. You've been working hard. At first, it was small. One day off became two. Two became a week. A week became inconsistency. Then came distractions, late nights, unproductive habits. Nothing extreme, nothing that looked destructive on the surface. But slowly, the discipline that built his foundation began to weaken. And within a year, he wasn't where he started. He wasn't even where he could have been. He was behind. Not because he failed, but because he allowed temptation to soften his edge. That is what temptation does. It doesn't always destroy you. Sometimes it simply delays you. And delay is one of the greatest thefts of destiny. Let me give you another example. A woman, elevated, healed, growing into her highest self. She had done the work, emotional healing, self-respect, boundaries. She knew her worth. But temptation came, not as something new, but as something familiar. An old connection, someone who once had access to her. They returned, not better, not aligned, but comfortable. They spoke the right words, triggered the right moments, created the illusion of connection. And temptation whispered, maybe this time it'll be different. And so she allowed access, just a conversation, just a meeting, just a moment. But moments leads to patterns, and patterns rebuild environments. For long, she found herself back in cycles she had already escaped. Not because she lacked strength, but because she underestimated the power of familiar temptation. Understand this deeply. Temptation often comes in the form of what you have already conquered. Not to test if you can overcome it again, but to see if you truly outgrown it. Now, let's talk about a different level of temptation. The temptation of shortcuts. There was an entrepreneur, brilliant and innovative, building something with real potential. But growth was slow. Success was taking time, and temptation came in a very appealing form. Speed it up! Cut a corner! No one will know! And so he adjusted, just slightly. A misrepresentation here, a bypass there, a decision made to quick gain rather than long-term integrity. And at first, it worked. Money increased, attention grew, momentum accelerated. And here is where temptation never tells you. Shortcuts don't remove the journey, they delay the consequences. Because eventually, truth catches up. And when it does, the fall is not from where you started. It is from how high you allowed yourself to climb without foundation. Temptation always trades long-term stability for short-term satisfaction. Always. No exceptions. Now, let's go even deeper. Temptation is not just external. It is internal. It is a voice inside you that negotiates with your higher self. You know what you should do, but then comes the eternal whisper, tomorrow, later, you don't feel like it today. And that is one of the most dangerous forms of temptation, because it disguises itself as reasoning, as logic, as self-compassion. But in reality, it is self-sabotage. Let me give you a simple, everyday example. You set a goal to wake up early, to go to the gym, to work on your purpose. The alarm goes off. And in that moment, there is a battle. Not external, internal. You know what it is. And temptation says, just sleep a little longer. Now, understand this. That single moment, that decision is not about sleep. It is about identity. Because every time you choose comfort over commitment, you reinforce a version of yourself that cannot be relied on. And over time, that becomes your reality. Not because you lack ability, but because you lack consistency. And consistency is the enemy of temptation. Now, here's the truth most people avoid. Temptation is strongest when you are closest to growth. Right before elevation, right before breakthrough, right before transformation, temptation intensifies because it is the final test. There are people, many people, who were once decision away from a completely different life. One disciplined choice away from wealth, one resistant urge away from alignment, one moment of strength away from greatness. But they chose differently, and that choice shifted everything. But here's the power you must understand. Temptation has no authority. It only has influence. It cannot make you act. It can only invite. And every invitation requires acceptance. So the question is no longer, why is temptation here? The question is, why am I considering accepting it? Because once you begin to see temptation as a test rather than an opportunity, everything changes. You stop negotiating. You stop entertaining. You stop justifying, and you start deciding. Let me tell you about a different kind of individual. Someone who mastered themselves. They feel temptation. They see it. They recognize it immediately. But instead of engaging, they detach. They don't argue with it. They don't debate it. They don't play with it. They simply say no, and they move on. That is power. Not the absence of temptation, but the absence of attachment to it. My collective, every day you are being shaped, not by the big moments, but by the small decisions, the quiet ones, the unseen battles. Temptation is present in all of them, in how you spend your time, in how you manage your energy, in who you allow access to your life, in what you tolerate, in what you prioritize. And over time, those choices compound. They either build you or they break you. So, I leave you with this. Temptation will come again and again in different forms, at different levels, at different stages of your life. But every time it does, you have a choice to step down or to rise above, to delay your destiny or to accelerate it, to weaken your foundation or to strengthen it. Because every no to temptation is not just resistance, it is reinforcement. Reinforcement of discipline, reinforcement of identity, reinforcement of who you are becoming. And the more you reinforce that version of yourself, the less power temptation has. Until one day, it no longer controls the conversation at all. Stay disciplined, stay aware, stay aligned, because mastery is not about avoiding temptation. It is about becoming someone who is no longer moved by it. Ashe. May the light of truth guide us. May the strength of the divine uphold us. And may the will of the Almighty be fulfilled in all that we do. Let our steps be firm, our hearts be pure, and our purpose unwavering as we walk the path of righteousness, unity, and ascension. And so it is written, so it is spoken, so it shall be. Ashe some more to be, inshallah, seal out the thoughts too. And amen.
The heart of the sun, a chosen light rises, the child of the sun.
There comes a moment when presence alone shifts the world. Harmony, compassion, justice, not ideals, the foundation of what comes next.
Said I was crazy because they couldn't see what I see. I'm making a difference. I finally see it. The world is ready, and I was made for this.
Every choice has a consequence. You chose the game.
I served for years as a supervisor and disaster responder with the American Red Cross in New York City, helping families rebuild after fires and evacuations. Today, I launched the Universal Care Alliance, working along
TNT Initiative's beatific seal of the 144,000. To the 144,000, the chosen who carry the eternal light of the Almighty. This work is for every soul who is awakened.
Funny when they think you don't matter. Funny when they think you won't rise. But everything changes, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
For centuries, the world has needed guardians no one could name. We move where others can't see.
We go where governments can't.
We are the shield in the dark. And when the world breaks, we never have. The world won't stop breaking.
Then we won't stop holding it together.
So what exactly is TNT Initiative?
It is creative direction.
Every emblem refined.
Every symbol perfected.
It is organizational clarity.
Framework structured like sacred law.
Guiding every...
So what exactly is TNT Initiative? It is the architecture of destiny, every framework aligned, every decree sharpened. It is the sacred transmission, weekly broadcasts that awaken the collective and...
So what exactly is TNT Initiative? First, ceremonial creative direction. Every emblem, every decree, every transmission sharpened to absolute clarity. Second, organizational framework structured like...
So what exactly is TNT Initiative? It's the transmission nexus of tomorrow, where sacred clarity meets unstoppable creative fire. It's decree, style messaging sharpened to perfection, every emblem refined, every symbol aligned. It's not just...
So what exactly makes TNT Initiative unstoppable? First, ceremonial creative direction. Every emblem, every decree, every transmission sharpened to absolute clarity. Second, organizational framework structured like sacred law, guiding every collective action with precision.
Is declining, but humanity's search for God is rising. This is not the end. This is the beginning of cosmic governance. A structure becomes a planet becomes a network, and that network becomes the conscience of our species. We build paths for those who will follow.
Every soul carries a destiny. Every destiny holds a path. Discover yours. The Chosen Leader Tarot.
Oh my God.
Yes. I got in? Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
you earn this?
Hello?
Hello, this is the Office of Admissions at Arcane Collegium. I'm pleased to inform you that you've been accepted.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. This place is unreal.
Feels like we stepped into a storybook.
And we're in it now.
You ready?
More than ever.
At Arcane Collegium, your journey begins the moment opportunity finds you. One decision, one message, one future. Welcome to Arcane Collegium. Advancing mind, advancing humanity.
That system is over. No crowds, no noise, no influence. Everything.
The world is changing, not by chance, but by design. A new Earth is rising. Those who align with the awakening will lead in innovation, sustainability, and trust.
United Earth's orbit is reaching a critical threshold. Now, the world unites. The United Space Industry Alliance, securing humanity's future in orbit. Now, we build it.
Artificial intelligence is moving faster than ever. The question is, who's guiding it? The AI, Human Evolutionary Alliance. The future, controlled, not chaotic.
Connecting the world. This is TNTI Global Media Broadcast, Chosen Collective Global News.
For centuries, we followed an artificial calendar, but the Earth has always kept the true time. The year begins when life awakens, the spring equinox, the return to Earth of months, one cycle, one shared rhythm. Join us, the Earth Rhythm Calendar.
For generations, our world has waited for a shepherd who would guide us beyond the edges of what we know. As the appointed guardian of nearly 400 million beloved chosen ones, I stand watch.
Felt it, the pressure, the constant test. That's the Chosen One Olympics. Honey traps, low-level dummies thrown at you without even knowing why. Now it's confirmed. DNA studies link you to pharaohs, kings, queens.
Energy is the foundation of all creation. Before a word was spoken, before matter took shape, there was vibration, pure movement of being. Money is not power.
Imagine a curriculum woven into everyday schools, rooted in mystics, creativity, and innovation. A place to practice, reflect, and create, to align within and build.
Manipulated, tested the limits.
They fucked around.
And they found out.
The world holds its breath. Something unseen is moving. Not a conquest, an alignment. A new Earth is rising. The alignment has begun.
The desperation phase is over. Every last attempt has failed. What was hidden is now returning. Order is restoring.
The world forgot how to love, but the divine has returned with sacred guidance. Join the Celestial Institute. Restore love to the earth.
Throughout history, words have shaped communities. The very beatific Holy Bible was written not to chain us to pages, but to open us to a greater sense of love and justice. When we read it in that light, we don't just recite verses.
When the sun dies, darkness claims the throne, but light cannot be erased. The celestial reign.
In a world rebuilding its order, policy must be enforced with precision, not by fear, but by structure. Accountable, disciplined, unified. EC.
Haiti rises. From survival to sovereignty. A new era begins.
Few qualify. Selection, not enrollment. Discipline earns the rank. Advanced Tactical Sentinels earn your position. Selection.
Every soul carries a destiny. Every destiny holds a path. Discover yours. The Chosen Leader Tarot. The
systems transform. When individuals align, systems transform. Or high vibrational certification. Don't forget.
We have to stand together and make this change happen because the world is watching right now.
If you feel it in your heart.
Drop that heart emoji.
Yes, this is bigger than us. Hit the like, hit the share, we are the movement.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Step outside. Breathe it in. There's more out here, waiting to be heard.
Every soul carries a destiny. Every destiny holds a path. Discover yours. The Chosen Leader Tarot.
What if this wasn't goodbye, but a passage into something greater? Ethereal passage. It began with a mark.
What is happening to me?
A call across the stars.
The sky's tearing open.
Only the chosen can stand. And you are one of
Chosen Leader.
He's got more money than he'll ever need.
They're trying to claim your inheritance, and the judges in their coven. Their bills are drowning them, and they want your money to pay their debts. Spirit says, don't be nervous. Everything will be okay. This treasure was set aside.
The Catalyst Covenant holds this unshakable truth. Only God gives the anointing, and only God can take it away. Opposition may press, but it does not grant power. Resistance tests alignment on every side, yet
I'm alive. And I need to say this. Greed is tearing families apart. My own relatives spread lies, told the world I was gone just to grab my inheritance. That hunger for money eats at the soul. It blinds people.
You're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem.
Know the difference.
Your life changes when your energy changes. Speak life. Protect your energy. Choose peace. Forgive. Stay present. Connect to something greater. When you honor these rules, you don't just rise above, you radiate. Keep your light steady. The world feels it.
First we root, We listen. We grow. This is Solum. Then we meet another light and learn to dance together. Duovera. From that harmony.
Earth's orbit is reaching a critical threshold. Now, the world unites. The United Space Industry Alliance, securing humanity's future in orbit.
Thousands of years, humanity has told stories about who we are, but history was shaped by power and sometimes by illusion. Science now reveals what should. One story, one body, all of us.
They told you awakening has a price, a contract, a fee, a gatekeeper, but God never charged admission. You don't buy awakening, you call for it. Call to him and awake.
The fate of humanity will now be decided.
Wait, what?
Are we the chosen ones?
Close enough.
Does this come with, like, instructions?
Because I just wanted a burger.
So...
We're saving a planet? Cool.
Yeah, but whose planet?
The world of Jalari is under siege. You are its last improbable hope.
Nope.
It's not random. They're activating.
We can't control them anymore.
It's already happening.
One to command, altitude 40 meters, maintaining course.
Neural signature climbing. He's resisting the net.
Hold steady. I want eyes on every spike.
Something's wrong.
Stand by for breach.
Breach! Breach! Breach!
Sir, stay right there. Hands where I can see him.
Target confirmed. You won't see it until it's too late.
The next transformation.
When the world demanded truth, only the real could stand. Who are you when nothing can be hidden? Only the aligned rise. Coming this winter, December 12th. Only in theaters and streaming wherever you ascend. Dark covens and syndicates moved in envy. Driven by jealousy, they attempted interference, but what was cast could not land. Protection is absolute. They tried and failed, and the envy shattered on its own weight. And from the stillness, a path opens. The chosen walks it, unmoved, unwavering. A new dawn for all who will follow.
In a world that moves faster than ever, stability matters. Security, stewardship, vision. Built for today, designed for generations. Global reach and Operation Infamous. Visit ChosenSovereign.com to begin.
To start with 100 million. Keep 2.5% in checking for daily moves, 12.5% in savings for safety, and place 85% to work. Manage for a 10% annual target.
They judged him over sugar. They never knew his value. Perception is shallow. Abundance is real.
Yeah, but it never works out. I swear, if one more thing... Oh, come on! Seriously? Why me?
Same life. Different mindset. Choose your...
No, I never said that. You're too sensitive.
The TNT Initiative presents SMART, Starseed Mastery and Readiness Training. Through SEED, you are purified, attuned, mapped, and aligned. Through SEED, your gifts...
Listen up, lock in real quick. This isn't a drill, this isn't a vibe checkpoint, this is the actual moment everything flips. We're standing in the middle of a world that's low-key glitching, systems breaking, people buffering, the whole planet throwing error codes, and right...
I don't remember my name. None of us do. We're not supposed to exist. So let's prove them wrong.
In a world built to last, our connections keep us whole. Together we protect what matters, carrying life forward, generation to generation. New Earth continues.
change doesn't mean displacement.
May the Almighty bless this moment of victory. May we build the new earth with wisdom, compassion, and truth. Let what rises now honor heaven, serve humanity, and stand.
Privacy is not a privilege.
Wealth is not luxury, it is stewardship. 5 years, 5 million liquid. 20 years, exponential growth. 40 years, multi-billion status. Own, build.
Crownstone, the architecture of stability. Where time and fire craft perfection. Dry-aged ribeye resting in its own gloss of butter. A5 Wagyu, marbled and impossibly tender.
Qualify. Selection, not enrollment. Discipline earns the rank. Advanced Tactical Sentinels earn your position. Selection.
Standing at the edge, we can choose peace. We must choose peace.
Peace is a decision. It begins with a hand extended, with help offered, with voices joined. Together, we can turn the tide.
People are not failing. They're unaligned. This is not a talk show, it's a system. Begin your alignment.
This is a TNTI Global Media Emergency Broadcast. We interrupt all programming with a historic global update. In a landmark ruling, the Chosen Collective has secured cited in favor of the collective on multiple counts, citing coordinated interference efforts, financial manipulation attempts, and systematic obstruction of rightful access and advancement, a precedent set to preparing viewing. This ruling marks a turning point, a clear affirmation that interference will not stand and that accountability has arrived.
True leadership is not seen, it is felt. This is the director.
They were called pets. Now, they are soft citizens. Care is no longer optional. Right? Because every life deserves dignity. Learn how you can stand for them.
Let's go!
You did that, Star. I'm telling you.
Appreciate you always.
We got it all on video. You were flawless.
The whole crowd was living for you, Micah. Feels like we did it together, yeah?
Always. House is proud.
Hold still. Let me get this class. There. Breathe. That's how we like it. Let him feel it.
This is not a show. This is culture. The Vanguard Ballroom Championship.
You only had to listen.
TNTI Global Media.
For those who lead, clarity is everything. ATI Elite, private access to the most advanced internal experience system in the world.
You came back.
Across galaxies, across time, a federation stands watch. Not as rulers, but as guard. They stood unseen until we were ready to see. And now, the veil is lifted. All across the world, we looked up together. And for the first time, we felt safe. They are not coming. They have always been here.
Subject's loose! Containment breach in Sector 4!
He's heading north end.
Throughout history, leadership has shaped the destiny of humanity. Now, a new generation is called, not to rule, but to serve. Answer the call, thesacredgovernance.org, and step into service. Visit phoenixgovernance.org and step into service. The future needs you. Answer the call today.
Before humanity remembers, guardians were placed among them. Sovereigns, primordials, healers, guardians, messengers, placed among humanity and the light they carry. They gathered in envy, in jealousy. But what was sent was never received. The chosen are protected beyond their reach. They tried and failed. Where growth demands structure, protection demands clarity, a system built on responsibility and governed by standard. The Chosen Defense Mandate.
One world.
One voice. Together we rise.
Most people receive and immediately consume and wonder why nothing ever grows. The Chosen move differently. They protect the principle and let the returns feed the future. Protect what you earn. Build what lasts. Let your money work for you. Principal Guard.
Leadership requires clarity, stability, and trust. That's why we operate above the old world compensation paradigm. Elevated stewardship compensation framework. Resourcing responsibility. Protecting
From alignment comes structure. From structure, mastery. And from mastery, responsibility.
I'm ready.
For ages, darkness claimed authority over the Earth. That era is ending. The light is now taking over. A new Earth is in development, overseen by the Most High. The transition.
You were never meant to surrender your authority. You were conditioned to give it away. The Sovereignty Code is the field manual for the chosen. Pragmatic clarity for modern life, energetic protection without fear, boundaries with calm power.
A lineage of power, refined for a new era. Power in its purest form.
I'm not crazy. I just see everything.
In times of great change, clarity must lead. When one is chosen to see ahead, wisdom is found in listening. Follow the guidance of Sebastianus, not from feet.
True power is not domination, it is mastery of self. If you wish to change the world, elevate the consciousness that shapes it. Be formless, be sovereign, lead the way.
There was a time when peace was only a dream, but today, we make it the standard.
For generations, humanity has pursued peace. Today, we structure it. But peace must become a system, structured, protected, and universal.
Peace becomes the standard. Aligned across all nations, all people, all lives. Where leadership stands, peace is enforced.
There comes a moment when presence alone shifts the world. Harmony, compassion, justice, not ideals, the foundation of what comes next.
3 men, 1 transformation. 1 still stuck in the past. 1 searching for love. And 1 trying to keep it all together. The GNPs, where growth gets messy.
Let me tell you, man, you still shout like you're on base.
And you still sip like it's tea time. Look at you.
Somebody's got to keep you 2 in line.
Good luck.
The GNPs, coming October 12th.
Some can't release what was never theirs to keep. Errors. Possession is not love. Control is not connection. The chosen are protected. Boundaries are divine law. Release when light stands its ground. Darkness has nowhere left to hide. Learn more at TNTI.global. The future is safe.
They thought no one was watching. They interfered, manipulated, tested the limits.
They fucked around.
And they found out.
Who am I? Beneath everything.
Some things don't stay buried.
To find God, he must face himself.
Together, we step into a new dawn. This dawn isn't just a promise, it's a choice. One we make together, today and every day after.
Something is changing. The systems you know are no longer enough. A new structure is being built. Alignment, abundance, evolution, continuity. Enter and begin.